right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome back. Margin, Nomits, Dino, Jericho, Aiden, Darth. Morning, Kevin, Omar. What's going on, guys? Wolf. To the Watt Boys, Regis, Professor Keith, DN, F. What's up, brother? How we doing? How we feeling? All right. I think we're good to go. Looking like a day of movement, potentially. A little bit. There's some signs that I hope are true. We shall see. Definitely some good news across some sectors this morning. Some movement, which I love. I love some movement. Room looks like it used to look like a dungeon. Hey, I hope you like it, man. I'm enjoying. I feel much more motivated. I like my little. I feel like I'm on a news. I feel like I'm a newscaster. I might as well get the weather up over here. Today, looking like bright and sunny. 60 or 75, no humidity. That would be a dream. Except Florida's like, oh, this is 98 degrees, 100% humidity. And the second you walk outside, you will start to sweat. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Holler. Appreciate that, bro. Got my coffee. Where's my coffee? There it is. Cheers. All right. Hymns. Yeah, baby. That's right, Chef. Hymns. All right, so let's get started. First things first, economic calendar. You guys can see right in front of me. I love this, man. I'm having fun. Economic calendar. We got the jolts today, 10 o'clock. Obviously something to pay attention to. We'll see, what happens at 10. We'll make sure we're aware of that. We'll see, and we'll make sure our positions are comfortable, right? Any kind of economic data could always cause some kind of volatility. So 10 o'clock today, be cautious. Factory orders as well. The rest of the day, not really anything to worry about for me there. But 10 o'clock, let's lock in. Let's be careful and pay attention to that. Next, earnings. There's your earnings calendar. You can't see my face, but there's your earnings calendar. You guys can see. Today is Tuesday, so today CrowdStrike after hours. This morning Neo. CrowdStrike after hours. What else we got? We got MongoDB tomorrow. We got Dollar Tree tomorrow morning. Some big ones here. Broadcom on Thursday. So definitely paying attention to Broadcom. Who looked? I know someone's looking. Gotcha. Who's looking? Broadcom. DocuSign. After hours. Yeah, I know WAP, you guys are not going to be able to see this. So, unfortunately, the live streams just are not going to be as great on WAP until we get things fixed. I just can't control it through OBS while I'm controlling OBS through YouTube. I can't do it both at the same time. So, that's the problem. But, hopefully, in the future, I will get that fixed. But for now, if you want to get the full experience of the new broadcast, come on over to the tube for the live streams. Broadcom, Jesus Christ. Broadcom, DocuSign, Lululemon, Thursday morning. Be aware of it. That's that. All right. Next, earnings or not earnings, news. Some news. We're going to incorporate some big news. All right. What are some news events that happened today that I think are important? Constellation and Meta today. The nuclear sector, nuclear energy, CEG, VST, GEV, OCLO, OKLO. Nuclear names are on the move. You guys know I've been a long time lover of GEV. This was a stock that we sort of brought into the rotation probably about 6 months to a year ago. Incredible stock. It's been rock solid. Loved every second of it. And I still hold that stock. We'll continue to hold that stock. But CEG, probably one of the best. Constellation Energy, news with Meta today, up huge. So pay attention to those names. The next one, you guys already know, my boy Hims. Hims and Hers. Hims, European requires, what is it, Zava, I think it's called. European telehealth platform. Beautiful. Love it. Hims will retire me. So if you guys stop seeing YouTube live streams, that is because Hims is at $1,000 per share, and I am up millions of dollars. So that is why I will likely not stream on YouTube anymore. It's when Hims hits $1,000. So Hims, holding that thing till I die. That's my boy right there, and continues to see, I think, quality things for the company. The CEO is a beast. The CEO is a slick guy. Seems to be making the right moves. All cash deal for this platform for European telehealth, and I think good things to come. So that's that. Those are our events this morning. I don't really want to leave this view. I really just would like to talk to you guys and not even go on the charts today. But let's go ahead and jump into the charts. Let's see if I can make this a seamless transition. Nope, it's not seamless. Hold on now. I don't even have the charts pulled up. Bear with me here, folks. All right, let's go here. Let's do this. Couldn't be seamless yet. It could not be seamless just yet. All right, let's see if we can make it seamless now. There we go. Seamless. Sort of seamless. We're missing something. We are missing that. All right. So, let me move this chat over. Let me get the WAP changed over here. Bear with me. WAP changed over. And the vibe is impeccable. This is a just good enough broadcast. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. That's what we're about here. It's good enough. All right. It'll do, broadcast. All right, we're good to go. We're done messing around. All right, so today, Nasdaq futures. We are right into the big boy level. We're right there. And you guys can see right here, Nasdaq futures, 21,530, 21,560. Here, right there. We are right on edge. And if we can get over this level today, I do believe you are going to see a market breakout. I would say a market breakout towards 21,700. I would say a market breakout towards 21,860. Those would be my next major pushes, my next major levels to be looking for. That's if we can get above this level. There's a little bit of something here that must hold to give you the signs that we are building towards this breakout, and that is this short-term uptrend that you are seeing. Yep, you guys don't see the charts. That's right. Sorry about that, WAP. I'm going to keep forgetting about WAP. Sorry about that, folks, on the WAP side. So, 21,530, 21,560, 21,700, 21,863. Those are my targets to the upside if we can break through today. Now, the key of today is, can we hold this short-term uptrend that we're on? Can we continue to see this higher low formation result in a breakout move, right? That's the question. That is the question of the day. Are we going to see this higher low that's forming right here in the pre-market be the higher low that gives us a higher high, right? And we start to do this. Is that what we start to see? I believe as of right now, I would say I am much more on the side of this breaking out than this failing and dropping through the 20 and 200 SMA. I just don't see it in terms of the technicals. So I am definitely more on the side of this holding and continuing higher, and I am preparing myself for that move because there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of individual equity setups that look primed for upside. And I am definitely wanting to take advantage. This is absolutely, in my eyes, the start, potentially, right? This is where a swing trading environment would begin. It's right here, right? A swing trading environment would begin after a consolidation period turns into an expansion period. So if we do turn this into expansion, this is where swing trades start to get interesting, right? Because you can try to trade it from the origination point. But we shall see. Today is a very important day, and we will see if that starts to set up. What needs to hold today for me to believe that we are still on the breakout move? You have to hold this 21,400 to 21,350 zone on the Nasdaq futures. You have to turn these previous highs, this previous high right here, these previous highs right here from Tuesday of 2 weeks ago. Tuesday of last week. These lows right here, these lows right here, and this pre-market level that held this morning. You need to hold this level. You need to hold this zone. 21,350 to 21,400, in my opinion, must be a higher low. This cannot fail. If we fail under this 21,350 level today, you are right back in the shitter. This is... I don't even know how to spell that, to be honest. I don't know if there's two T's in that. I've never spelt that word out in my life. Anyways, 21,350 to 21,400. This must be your new higher low. If this can be your higher low, I think you are going to get this move. If you do something like this and fail back under, then you are right back into the downside move, back to the channel lows, and we are not excited about that, just in terms of continuation. However, do I think there could be a downside trade today? If we get a fail under 21,350 and have a very clean rejection there, that is a very nice downside trade, right? So don't get me wrong. That is a very nice downside trade. If you get a break and hold under 21,350, that is a very clear rejection play to look for, right? If we get that. Why is that? You can see how clean of a shelf that was yesterday, right? Who remembers us in the Discord chat? We were in overtime yesterday in the Discord. Overtime. I mean, I was there till 2 o'clock yesterday. Why? This was just such a beautiful structure higher move. Look at this thing. Just look how clear. Look at the clear structure, guys. This is called intraday market structure right there. That's what we were reading all day yesterday. Lows, highs. These highs, lows. These highs, lows, right? Structuring higher on the intraday. Beautiful. It's beautiful. So it's very clear today, right? This is about as clear as it gets. If you break this on something like this, right? Let's think about this right here, right? Think about this right here. If you get this right here today, right? Something along the lines of this, and you're rejecting and rejecting and rejecting below this level, does not mean that I'm going to be stuck in stone like Medusa stared at me and I won't react to that, right? That's something you need to pay attention to. So 21,350, that's the spot. If you can hold above it, you're good. If you get above it, right, 21,560, if you get above it, then you're looking for that move to 21,700, okay? All right. That's that. That's really it. It's very clear. That's pretty clear. QQ. All right, let's go ES. S&P 500 futures. Pretty much the same read. A little bit of a messy level. A little bit of a messy level. But pretty much the same read, right? I don't love this area here. It's very messy, right? I think it could be... It's probably 5,900 now that I look at it. It's just a tad bit messy, right? But 5,900, you have these major lows. You have these major lows. You have these major highs. You have these major lows right here. And that would be the level I think has to hold, right? And guess what else is there? To just make this as easy to understand as possible. 200 SMA, right? Just perfect. You have the 200 SMA and 5,900 just right there as your deciding factor today, right? You're above it, you're long. You're below it, you're cautious of shorts, right? It's a very clear sort of just two sides of the story move here with that very clear 200 SMA and 5,900 level right in the middle. I think that makes it, I think this is like as easy to understand as possible, right? This is how you think about things. You think about your thesis based off levels, right? As long as the S&P is over 5,900, as long as we're over the 200 SMA, there is no reason to be thinking that this market's going to go down. If you fail under it and start to turn the 200 SMA and 5,900 into rejection points, then you know the market is going to go down, right? And that's how you base your decisions, right? So that's what I would be careful of today. That would be my main watch, 5,900, 200 SMA. Let's see what happens if that gets tested. If you break below that, you likely trade down to your 58.50 and your daily 20 SMA again. And if you do hold this and start to get that strength today, you're testing your 59.57. Over 59.57, you are going to move up, I think, to that 6,000 area. Maybe like this 59.80 area first, and then the 6,000 would be the end target here, right? To that level. Okay? Very clean. Very clean. SPY. Same exact thesis, guys. It's the same thesis, right? Look at this. Exact same thing. What's the level? This is 5,900 today. 589 SPY. Right there. 589 SPY. I could say you bring it to 588.50 because if you go to the intraday, that was where that shelf was formed yesterday. Right here. Is it 588? I think you leave it at 588.50. Let me get a quick peek out here. Yeah, you leave it at 588.50. Right? If you look at this 580, it's anywhere between 588, 589, really. It's not going to be perfect. There's no such thing as, oh, it's exactly this point, and this is exactly where it must hold. It's somewhere between this 588, 589, right? See this? All here, all here, all here, all here, all here, 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 and here. All right, look how clean. Look at all these touch points at this level. 588, 589 zone, that's the must-hold level. You flip under that, that's downside. That would be the same as a flip underneath 5,900 and the 200 SMA. Exactly lines up perfectly. All right, perfect line up there. Underneath that 588, you trade the 584 again. Upside rejection point, very clear, 593. We can very clearly see that here on the 15-minute chart. 593 definitely needs to break and hold above. You are still at the risk of this failing, right? So make sure you understand that. Above 593, holding above this high, you are absolutely going to 596. That would be my first target right here, 596, and then 598. But here's your test: 593, 589, 588. This is your zone today, right? If you want to create an NTZ today, it could be here, right? And you're looking to trade outside of these ranges. Nice job, Danny. 1,300 on Meta 660, man. Oh, yeah, that was the trade of the day, Danny. You caught the trade of the day, my friend. Well done. Well done. Sexy trade yesterday, Meta. That one had the juice. All right, QQQ. Same exact concepts here. Same exact concepts. I'm actually going to bring this up to 5.8. Yeah, it's like the 5.19, right? Where was that shelf on the 5-minute? Yep, there it is. 5.19. Right here. See this? This is the same thing we looked at on the Nasdaq futures. Right here. My voice cutting out? It might be because I'm using the Yeti on this seen. I don't know. Let me know if it's just. Let me know, guys, if it's cutting out at all. I can try to fix it. It might be because I'm talking too loud. The mic might cut out. All right, so 519. You guys can see right here, 519. There's a very clear shelf from yesterday. You break that. Yes, we're going down, right? Set an alert. Do something like this. Create an alert. Make a note. Week below, right? Do something that makes you understand that if we break below that, you are going to get downside under 519, right? That's a big break if we see that happen. So make sure you know that. To the upside, 524. This is your possible NTZ today if you don't want to get involved in this zone, right? 519 to 524 would be your two channels. If you break over 524, I think you go up. If you go under 519, I think you get down, right? This is what you're watching. Over 524, right? Over this high, I think you trade into 527 and 530. Okay? Very clear. Very clear levels today. Like, really clear game plans here. Hopefully this is making sense to you. If you guys could, please press that like button. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. I need to get like a little button on here that screams press the like button. Screams it. All right. Press it. Subscribe to it. Ayúdame. Ayúdame. All right. Next, SMH. So, what did we talk about on the SMH yesterday? We talked about the 220 SMA being the must-hold level. Look at the SMH yesterday. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right off the 200, right off the 20, just as expected. Key demand level 236, 238, 220 SMA. Bam, straight up off that all day. Perfect. That's why the semis outperformed yesterday. You're just coming off this major demand that once again is holding very strong. Now, the key level that we must break today, in my opinion, is around this 244.50 to 245. You have to break above that level, right here. 244.50, 245. I would like to see that break and hold above. If you get that, then I think semis have another leg higher towards the 249. 249, 249. Okay? This is very, very clear. Daily chart. I just want to give you guys a little sneak peek at... I would love to put up a counter on the top of the chart today to show you how many stocks and setups on the daily chart look identical, right? This is identical to many, many stocks today on the market. Look at this little flag that is forming on the SMH with a springboard off the 20 and 200 SMA, right? Look at that. Look at the S&P 500, right? Same thing. 220 SMA, S&P 500 futures. SMH. I'm going to run you through a few real quick, but we'll get back to them. AMD. Look. AMD. 220 SMA. Looking great. Amazon. Look at Amazon. Amazon. 220 SMA. Perfect. What just happened off these levels? Palantir. Look at Palantir. Palantir right off the 20. Bam. Straight up. Meta. What happened? Meta. 20 SMA. Look at that. Bam. Straight up. JP Morgan, another one that Comfort pointed out today. 20 SMA, boom, likely straight up, right? Look at all these stocks doing the exact same thing. Wild. Wild, wild, wild. The SMAs have caught up to price action after some consolidation. This is typically when you get the most bullish move, right? Look what Palantir did the last time off the 20, right here. 20 SMA, bam, 20 SMA. It's looking the exact same. So, this keeps me very bullish here. This looks bullish to me. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to come out. I'm just come up front and say it. I'm not going to be scared to show you a little bit of bias there. This looks about as bullish as it gets to me. The scent is definitely there. The scent is absolutely there. You could smell it. But that doesn't mean we just start being reckless, man. That's not what that means. You can have an understanding of what you think comes next. but you also need to have the understanding that I'm not going to just start throwing everything I own on the long side. That's just stupidity. There's a difference between analyzing a chart, creating an educated bias, and then just absolute stupidity. All right, there's a difference there with the positions you take. So SMH 220 SMA looks very good. If you can clear out this 244.50, I think you get upside. IWM consolidation for now, and look at the daily 20. Yeah, look at the daily 20 here. Oh boy, could that be special there? 20 SMA, 20 SMA, IWM. Look at that wick. Interesting. Dow Jones, same exact thing. Daily 20 holding this thing up. You still need to clear out 43K for the Dow Jones. That would be my Dow Jones alert. Dow Jones needs to break 43K. 200 SMA. There's really nothing that bad going on in the market, Ghost, to be honest, man. I mean, you may have disagreements with some things that are going on, but to be honest, it's not like the world is burning down. So, I really don't think there's that much in the external world that would stop the market from making a move like this. Unless some black swan event gets announced today. But it's not like things are burning to the ground right now. So, yeah, I mean, nothing on the macroeconomic would make me that concerned about this play not working out. I mean, we can't predict black swan events. We just can't do it. We can, right, guys? This is something I want you to pay attention to. I want you to realize this, okay? You can only trade off of what you can see, all right? And this is something you need to understand. You can only trade off of what you can see. We cannot see when something black swan comes out. If we are unfortunately exposed to that, and it does affect our money and it affects our portfolio, then that is simply the game that we have signed up for. You have signed a contract with the market to be involved. If you buy a position, you have basically signed yourself a contract that says, I accept the risk if something random happens. We can't live like that, right? It's like that in everything in life. You can't just sit in fear and be concerned about what could happen. We have to take our risk. That's something you have to naturally accept if you are going to be good at this game. Right? If you're going to be good at trading, you need to be able to take risks, right? At the core of it. And so I know there could be China, something happens with China tariffs. There could be some kind of war that breaks out. There could be some kind of crazy black swan event that happens. I don't know. But I can't not trade something because of that possibility. I can't. That will simply lead us to miss out on opportunities, have fear of executing, and just being panicked at all the time, right? So just make sure you guys pay attention. Just realize that, right? I know there's different opinions on different things going on in the world. I get that. I'm open to that, right? I'm never going to say that your opinion's not right. But when it comes to trading, right, and that's what we're talking about here. When it comes to trading, we can be educated on the things going on, but we can't try to predict when something is going to happen terribly, right? You can't do it. It's just, it'll just keep you, it'll keep you subdued. Yeah, I mean, if you're putting everything on the line, then I'd be a little bit more cautious. Yeah, I mean, if I'm putting a $2 million portfolio on the line today, then yeah, I'm probably a little bit concerned. But, if I'm taking proper risk, I'm taking proper trades, and I'm just chilling and taking my shots, then what's the worst that could happen? You take a trading loss, all right? All right, so let's continue. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Here we go, Tesla. If you guys were part of the group yesterday, our sneaky play of the day, what was it? What was our little sneaky play of the day yesterday on Tesla? It was the long at the lows. Why? 332, 332, 332, 332, 332, 332. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why not 7 tomorrow? Or why not 7 yesterday? All right. Why not 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why not 7? It is 7. All right. There you go. Lucky number 7. It happens again. 332, same exact demand low, bounces again. Perfect. Perfect. Channel low demand, steps up. That's a trade. Very nice. Now, what are you in? you're still in 350. You're still in 332 channel, right? You're still in there. So just make sure you understand that. If you're someone that doesn't want to get too involved in this channel, I would wait for 350 to reclaim. That would be what I look for. Get that 350 reclaim, get Tesla back over 350, and then look for that long over 350 into 55, and then over 55 back into 70s, right? If you don't want to play with this channel, right? But I would say if markets do what they look like they want to do, and they do want to continue, this daily 20 SMA pullback on Tesla is going to be pretty nice, right? You can see right here, Tesla's another stock that just pulled back. Daily 20 sort of sitting right under price action there. 332 is a very strong demand. If this consolidation holds, right, if we sort of hold this box in this consolidation, then I would say the next move is likely higher. That's the sort of macro look here. If you break under this 332, then yeah, you're going lower, right? Right around that 332 low, that's where you would break down. But for now, once again, it holds strong, right? Very strong. So I would watch this 350 if you want to wait for that. You could sort of indicate this as your NTZ today, right? I don't want to get involved in Tesla within this zone. If we get over 350, then I get interested, right? Set an alert above 350, bam, done. NVIDIA. So I have an NVIDIA swing trade. I really like it. I am in it pretty large. I got about $30,000 in this one today. Actually, maybe a little bit more, 30, 35, I think. Looks good. Looks good. Should open up to a nice profit. We'll see if it completely tanks on me at open and before I can even take some profits. But I'll tell you why I like this. Actually, you know what? I might leave this for the video because I have a pretty cool video coming out on this trade, multi-day video, sort of how to go from a, how I sort of turn a day trade into a swing trade, sort of the mindset behind it, all that good jazz. What I'll say is, I'll say this. You got to hold 137, 136. That's what I'll say, right? You got to hold these previous highs. Here, 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 here. Must hold as lows. Right there. Very clear, right? See how these highs are trying to flip as new lows? That is very clear today, my friends, right? That is very clear today. So anywhere between this 136, 137 zone, you need to see demand step up, step up, step up, step up. If you get demand to step up in this 136, 137, I think you are looking for this 140 target today. You are possibly right now looking at a break and retest over yesterday's highs. Right here, look. Now that would be incredible, right? That would be incredible. See this? Yesterday highs. Look at this little break and hold above. Look at the 15-minute candles right here. You now have 45 minutes of wicks at the previous day high, which is very nice looking as of now. Hopefully it holds up for me into open. AMD, probably the shittiest company with the best setup. AMD is the shittiest company with the best setup. So you have to decide if you want to get involved in that. But AMD looks very nice here, man. AMD, you got your expansion. You got your price correction. You've consolidated above the 20. You're sort of, fueling up you're refueling here. This looks great to me, right? It looks like if the SMH and the semis can get a move, I think you're at 123 on AMD in pretty short order here. Shittiest company with a fantastic looking technical setup. That's really what it is. Do you trust it? That's up to you. 115 is the level that I want to see break today. If you break 115, I think you are going to 118. Okay? So 115 to 118 would be your realistic target today. Not, sort of euphoria AMD's back baby trade. It's more like a, hey, AMD had a break and retest of 115. I'm going to trade it into 118. That's, sort of the right thing to think about there. The pullback long would have to be 113. So there's really no risk reward to enter where AMD is currently sitting, right? Because of this 115 rejection. You need a pullback to 113. You need to get over 115. Okay? Here's your best stock on the stock market. Absolute behemoth of a stock. I really don't have any words for this stock. Yeah, I mean, congratulations to anyone that bought the dip on Broadcom. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Did I buy some shares on Broadcom? You know what? I want to check. We'll take a second. Let people press the like button here. And I want to see if I did buy some dip buys on Broadcom. I think, I mean, I had M1 buying. I just don't know if it bought Broadcom. Let me look in the investments chat. I might have been overweight Broadcom. Oh no, I did buy. Oh shit, yeah. I bought some Broadcom on April 8th. April 8th. Where's April 8th? Oh, no way. It's the low. I'll show you guys right now. We'll update. We'll, where's my OBS? There it is. I'll get it up for the Watt boys. Let's see here. So long term's back at the highs, by the way. Just a quick update for you. Long term is back at the highs. Actually, I think over the... Wow. Holy shit. So long term is back at the highs, even with the market still... Right, this is the great thing about long term, about dollar cost averaging. My portfolio is back at its highs, with the Nasdaq futures still about what percentage point off all-time highs, right? So we're 4% off all-time highs, and my portfolio is back at its highs, right? And so if the Nasdaq does go back 4% to all-time highs, guess where this portfolio is going to be, right? It's going to be up here, right? And so that's a higher high on my portfolio with an even high on the market. Why? Dollar cost averaging. That's what that is. Let's see. What did I buy? April. Let's see what I bought in the midst of. Is it mist? The mist of it, or I don't know what the word is. In the panic attack that happened just a few months ago. There you go. Broadcom, 162. Broadcom 162. That's almost up like 50%. Dollar cost averaging. TSM, Apple, Meta, Broadcom 168. Broadcom 161. Oh. 161. Nice. GEV, Meta, more Apple, more Netflix. Just stacking it. Stacking it. So later in life, I'm chilling. That's where I sold MRVL and Intel right there. Piece of shit companies. Did nothing for me. Yeah. There you go. Buy the panic and stop panicking, right? Buy the panic and stop panicking. Who had an absolute panic attack at these lows, right? And look at where we're at today. Insane. Insane. Anyways, I hope you see it, man. I hope you see it real. I mean, this is like as real as it gets, guys. This is real. Me signing right into my broker, showing you exactly what I did during that panic, showing you the result of it, and just, I mean, it's just the blueprint that you must follow. It is the blueprint that you must follow. I have followed it for 5 years now, and this portfolio is up just massive. Portfolio is up, all time, it's up $117,000. Money weighted return is 119%. So just keep buying the panic, and make sure that you don't buy with money you can't afford to lose. And when it goes down, you really don't care, right? That's the goal. That's the key. If it goes down, you get excited when it goes down because you know you're going to be able to buy more at a cheaper price. I want, right? The share, you got to think about shares as like, I want it, right? I want that. I want the shares. So give me a better price. I'm not scared to buy them. Anyways, Broadcom, 247 right here. 247, best stock in the stock market right now. Got to hold 247. If you hold 247, I think you go all-time highs. 256 if you hold this 247 level. You break below, which is very possible because you went straight up yesterday. Maybe you revisit the 238 demand. But for now, Broadcom, absolute unit of a stock. TSM, sort of consolidating, needs to get over 197 here. If you get over 197, I think you're going to see that 205. Let's see if TSM can get over that 197. Here's the problem, Robert. So you got to make sure you're buying good stocks. I couldn't tell you if a firm's a great stock to be in. It could be. But you can see my portfolio that I just showed you is made up of all large cap tech stocks. There's really no like questionable names here, right? Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, Broadcom, Netflix, TSM, Apple, GEV, Google. There is really no questionable stocks here. I don't need to go to, I'm not going to go to sleep at night and say, oh man, I wonder if a firm's going out of business, right? That's the question. That's what you don't want to be involved in, okay? All right, let's go to Meta. Meta, sexy stock yesterday. It is cutting out. I'll use a different mic tomorrow. 660 Meta. That's your watch. Retest, right? Let me get the charts back up. Yep. So, 660 Meta. That's your retest today. That's what I'd be looking for. I'm going to set an alert. Excuse me. Going to set an alert at like 663 so that I know if it's coming back down to that. I would be watching that today. Palantir. Have this as a swing trade as well. Holding some Palantir from yesterday. 130.52 right here. 130.52, break and retest of this channel high, right? Palantir was rejecting this high for many, many days. Yesterday, what did we do? We held above it, right? So I swung Palantir yesterday. I'm looking at this 130, 130.50, anywhere between like that, and then that 131 zone. Just keeping an eye on this whole zone here. As long as Palantir is above these highs, right, and we're holding above them, I think Palantir continues. And so I have some swings today, and we'll probably take some profits on that. So Palantir looking good. Got to hold that 130, 130.50, 131 area. Let's see. Himothy. Oh, baby. This is going to be up nice today. Himothy. I think Himothy is actually becoming a real stock, guys, by the way. Right? Like, this was like fake stock, squeeze and come back down. This is like premature. You guys know what I'm about to say. Premature what? This is like sort of the early stages of a runner. You get like that sort of like short squeeze, and then just everyone says, oh, this company actually sucks. And then this looks more like a, hey, we're actually here, right? We're actually showing up this time. That's what this looks like to me, right? HIMS has not given back this move instantly. It has been a much better structure than this, right? Look at this structure. It's shit. It really is. This is shit structure. This move should have never made you comfortable, right? And I expected this to fail, right? That's why I haven't sold a share of HIMS. This is great, but it's so short term. Loaded again down in the 28s, 30s, down here. And this looks better, right? This looks better. This actually looks like a structured move to me versus this sort of straight up action. So I think HIMS is here to stay in terms of just like, it feels like it's getting picked up by people, right? People are actually starting to come around to this stock, and I think it looks pretty damn good. 58, big breakout today off the news. If you can hold over 58 today, I think you see 58 break and retest to 65. Over 65, you get a break and retest to 69. You have to hold 50. Breaking 50 would sort of kill the momentum on HIMS, and you probably start to get a little bit of a cold winter for the stock a little bit. So you got to hold 50. That's what I would look for. 50, 58. Those are the levels. Google, yeah. Oh, Google. Wow. Google, something's going a little bit strange with Google. We've talked about this in the past in the live stream, whether Google's dead money. I don't know, man. This looks like dead money. That's not good. All right? That is very against everything else we're looking at. So, I don't know what the hell is going on with Google, man. I really don't. Google Hoodoo's up to Chrome divestiture. Okay, so a little bit of news this morning. Yeah, it hasn't been a great stock. If you want to look for Google downside, under 169 looks to be the trade. Break and retest under 169. Man, Google's been very weak, huh? Microsoft, 463. That's your level to watch today. 463 over 463. Then I think you get your move higher. That's your break and retest. I would watch 463. Yeah, Hood's been... Oh my God, Hood is a monster. So Hood rumors of being included in the S&P 500. This is a stock that I was going to invest in like 6 months ago, and I never got around to it, and I'm very upset about it. I think it was back at 40. Yeah, it was at 40. It was right around here. Where was it? Let me zoom out here. It was further back. It was right here on this breakout. It was like right around here. It was back in like early start of 2025. I was getting interested on this breakout. I don't know why I never did it. I guess I forgot, really. I like Hood. I think they're doing good things. I think they're taking over like the retail monetary system, really. I think they're definitely it's a household name. That's something I love about when I invest is household names. Everyone knows what Robinhood is. I could go ask my uncles if they know what Robinhood is. Of course they know what Robinhood is. Everyone does. It just had so much publicity. So they're definitely using that publicity for the right way. They're definitely innovating. Stock is definitely showing that. This is a great name. This is a huge breakout. I really don't think you want to chase this, but if you get a pullback to 67, I think you got to fire. Right? I think you got to fire on a pullback to 67. If you get it, which doesn't really look like you're going to, unfortunately. If it gets included in the S&P 500 on Friday, I don't know where this is. This could be at $100, to be honest. Like, if it actually gets included. So, yeah, interesting. Hood's a beast. I think it's gone, though, unfortunately. I think it's gone. What did I miss? APP, the 280 retest that we've been talking about has been great. Here's your 280 retest. Look at that thing. I'm sorry, 380 retest on APP. Next upside supply is 407 and 417. So APP is looking good. Just watch those upside supplies. What did I miss today? Coinbase MSTR, watch out for these demand lows. If Bitcoin starts to hold up, guys, these are going to be two very, very nice plays to watch. They are not moving yet, but they are getting sort of interesting. Coinbase off the 20 SMA, MSTR off the daily 20. I'm sorry, off the daily 50. Definitely things to watch there. Let me run through the Desi TA section. Again, if you want to get my key levels every single morning, you can go down below. You can join the Discord and get the key levels. It's a discounted price for just the levels. If that's all you're interested in, you can get my TA every single morning there, straight to your Discord. Yeah, we got a quick peek, just real quick at like the energy names. So CEG is where that news came out today. CEG, Constellation Energy. 350, 352, 350 is that major high, right, which you are failing above. I think the pullback to 330 would be money. 330 pullback would be what I'm watching today. I'm actually going to create an alert there. I'm going to create an alert back at 330. See if we get back to there. GEV, fantastic energy name. Pretty much gone. Great long-term stock. Oklo, another one that's moving off this. All-time highs here on Oklo look to be around 59. I have an alert set for those highs. Wrong scene. Sorry about that. We're not done yet. All right. Do we have with me. How we feeling? Are we focused? Press the like button. Volume's back. Let's do a word of wisdom. What's the words of wisdom today? Here's your words of wisdom today from the Desi Trade Newscasting Live. Markets are seemingly on the verge of a breakout. All right. It definitely looks like a lot of stocks are setting up to be some strong breakouts. And there's definitely an inclination this morning to get very excited, right? This is what we feel. We see some nice setups. We get very excited. We feel our emotions start to rise. We're interested in catching a big move on the market. Now, what is the key, right? The key is we need to wait for something to give us that confirmation. I am guilty of this myself. I get very excited at times. I see some very nice setups, and I trust my analysis so much that sometimes I front run my analysis because I'm so confident in what I'm looking at. Today is one of those mornings. I can definitely see the reason to be excited for upside. It's absolutely there in the charts. No one can tell me otherwise. It's very clear. However, I need to make sure I keep my risk in check. I need to make sure I don't overdo it. I can't think about being over leveraged. I need to take it just as I typically would. Same risk management, same tactics, same strategy, break and retest. Nothing should change, regardless of how good something looks, right? That is how we run a test, a hypothesis, right? We have to have a control. In a test, in an experiment, something needs to stay the same to be able to judge our performance. And to judge our performance, or to judge a performance of a experiment, right, and judge a hypothesis, you have to have a control group. You must have a control... Can't say that word. You must have a control group so that you can base your performance, right? What are you basing your performance off of? If everything is different, if every variable changes all of the time, it's hard to know what you must be doing to get those proper results, right? Does that make sense? I think it does. Tesla rocket ship? Uh-oh. What do we got? Oh. Huh. Tesla. All right, guys. I hope you're enjoying these live streams, man. I'm enjoying doing them. I'm not really seeing the growth, but we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to increase the quality. I would assume that maybe some of you out there could spread the word, right? After seeing some of the improvements, if you guys are interested in helping me grow the channel, let your friends know, let your parents know, let your sister know, maybe your brother, let your wife know, or your husband. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.